So I just came across a video of someone struggling to make rusty screws for spell work. Some time ago, I tinkered with ways to make rusty nails in a really short period of time. And all that I needed to do this was some basic household chemicals, some gloves, and a well-ventilated area. So if you want to learn how I made these rusty nails in just 3 hours, not 3 weeks, not 3 days, just 3 hours, then stick around and I'll show you how I did it. First, you're going to need some nails, screws, or pins. I wouldn't recommend anything that's rust resistant like deck screws. These are just some basic nails that came from Walmart for between $10 and $15. There's nothing special about them. I don't think that they're coated with anything. They're just plain nails. Next, you're going to need a container to make these in, and I recommend glass. Do not use plastic, and I'm using the same jar that I'll be storing these in. And you're going to need some plain white vinegar, just some basic 3% hydrogen peroxide from any pharmacy or dollar store, and some salt, preferably coarse salt. You'll need a measuring spoon. This is a tablespoon, preferably one that is plastic, as well as a plastic fork for stirring and for removing the nails later on. On hand, you'll also need a plate. I'm using a paper plate and paper towels. I also kept a bowl under my jar to catch any overflow, and you'll see what I mean later. You want to protect your surfaces and your body as much as possible. Now this is a 125 milliliter jar. It's okay to use a larger jar just as long as you are measuring accurately for the rest of your ingredients. You're then going to want to add 3 tablespoons of coarse salt. Then you're going to need to add 3 tablespoons of just plain vinegar. Now before you go any further, you are going to want to dissolve all of that salt into your vinegar as much as possible. It's okay if it's not completely dissolved, but you want to do this step before you start adding peroxide. Then once your salt is generally dissolved, you want to add 3 tablespoons of peroxide. Then you're ready to start adding in your nails or your screws or your pins. You can add a little bit, you can add a lot, as long as there's enough room for you to be able to stir things around periodically and to later on remove the nails completely. Once you get them in there and start stirring around, it's going to start to oxidize right away, as you can see by the color here. You can add more nails at this point if you want to, just as long as you don't wait too long so that they're all going to oxidize at the same rate. This is going to produce a lot of gas, as you can see by the foam on top, and so you're going to want to stir this every 20 to 30 minutes or so, just so that way everything is evenly exposed to the solution. Now, as you can see, this is why I said to have something underneath your jar, because there could be overflow and this stuff stains, so protect your surfaces. Stirring regularly will help to dissipate the foam, but it can just be scooped out. Then after about 3 hours have passed, those nails should be ready to come out. Now I've made a batch of this, leaving the nails in overnight, and the results are exactly the same. So it shouldn't need any more than a couple of hours. It won't make any difference leaving them longer. Then once they are scooped out onto some paper towel, they are ready to be cleaned up a little. Now these need to be cleaned off and dried out, and you can help that process just by giving it a gentle rub with some clean paper towel. Don't run this underwater, because while it is still fresh, you will knock off a lot of that oxidation off of the nails and you'll have wasted a lot of time. So just give them a gentle rub. After you've blotted them dry, just lay them out on a paper towel for a couple of hours to let all the remaining moisture flash off. And here you can see the difference between the new nail on the left and the chemically rusted nail on the right, completely oxidized and ready to be used. Once your rusted nails are completely dry, they are ready to be stored, or you can start using them right away. So there you have it. I hope that you will find this useful.